I want to, I want to have more, and you weren't fulfilled anyway, then it wasn't worth it.
Blake Lively is in deep trouble as people are combing through the archives of things that she has said in the past or things related to It Ends With Us. It's not good because it supports, most of it supports Justin Baldoni's case and what a lot of us have suspected for a long time as to what she did on this film It Ends With Us. Now, what popped up on my feed this morning, it was a video from, I think her name is, it's Flossom, is her channel on YouTube. She is the actual reporter that first that I guess went viral with showing how disgusting Blake Lively is, where she did that interview with Blake Lively and Parker Posey. And she said, congratulations on your little bump. And then Blake Lively goes into full mean girl mode with Parker Posey. That's blown up. And she does have her channel on YouTube now where she talks about different things going on with the industry and specifically going on with Blake Lively. So that popped up. And so I decided, you know what? I got to find this clip. And I did. Buried deep in Forbes website is a women's summit that they did in 2022. And one of the people that were the keynote, I guess, conversations, guest speakers was Blake Lively. And you are not going to believe what she actually says in this. It is, this is a gift. Absolutely, to Justin Baldoni's lawyer. Guys, make sure you're subscribed to me here on YouTube and on X or wherever you're watching this video, but also make sure you're following me on X because I do post things that I normally, can't get to here on YouTube or in a video format, but then also TikTok because I'm trying to build that up. But I want to play this for you guys. I had to dig through, I had to screen record it just so I could have it for you today. Wait till you hear this. It's gonna blow your mind.
I think I've just done it enough. You learn to sort of, when I was younger in my life and career, I would sort of shape myself to the version of myself that I thought that they wanted. Or when I would show up on a set, I knew that they just wanted me to show up and look cute and stand on a little pink sticker where I'm supposed to go and say what I'm supposed to say. But I also knew that that wasn't fulfilling for me, that I wanted to be a part of the storytelling, that I wanted to be a part of the narrative, whether that be in the writing, in the costume design, and creating the character. And sometimes I had directors or producers or writers who would welcome that and invite that once they saw that I was able to offer that. And sometimes I would have people who really resented that because they were like, we just hired you to be an actor. Yet when I went in the meetings, I would just seem like I'm just there to be the actor and ready to get the gig. I wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to feel fulfilled. So I think that for them,
we got to stop right there. That was a mouthful that she just said. That she would pretend that she would go into a role just to be an actor, but no, she needed to have authorship over it. She needed to do the wardrobe. She needed to be deeply integral. And she would come in and kind of fool them into thinking that, oh no, I'm just going to be pretty and show up. But in reality, her goal was to take over the project, to take it. And it's funny, the beginning of this conversation is all about, why are men are the ones in charge? Why do men get to tell these stories? Why do men get all of this? It's just a delusional rant where you can see where it kind of pushes towards this women's empowerment. But now if you think back to all of the things that she's done, what she did to Justin Baldoni, and you see this resentment towards men. And it wasn't about women empowerment because we know women were hurt with the things that she did with It Ends With Us. So it wasn't about bringing forth women. No, it was about bringing forth herself, pushing herself to the forefront, no matter the cost. And so just the fact that she says this out loud. And when you think back to it, when people heard this, we didn't have this case. So it just seems like the typical feminist, I am woman, hear me roar. I'm for women. I love other women. But we've seen her mean girl act. I just mentioned the journalist that congratulated her on being pregnant, and she just goes into full out nastiness. Guys, we're going to get back into the video, but I got to show you this first. Grab your dragons, wear your florals. It ends with court. Y'all, I just dropped my new team, Justin Baldoni merch on my shop, and I created these limited edition designs, which have been flying off the shelf. Blake Lively has her dragons, and now Justin has his. Direct links to each design in this thread. So I posted this on X, but you can go to realmelanieking.com and the pinned link directly to these products will be in the description box, as well as the pinned comment if you are watching this on YouTube. If you are on X, I will also leave it as a comment, but it is pinned to my profile. Take a look at these designs that I created myself. These are exclusive. You can't get them anywhere else. I have my Justice Dragon shirt in lilac. I have It Ends with Court shirt there. Yes, I am shady, girl. I have my Justice Dragon in white, but look at this. My It Ends with Court comes in a mug. So does the Justice Dragon. And I have it as the Justice Dragon as a double-sided pillow. It ends with court in lilac. And finally, it ends with court and a double-sided pillow. Guys, get your designs at realmelanieking.com. Again, the link will be in the description box and the pinned comment. Now let's get back to the mess. She's a disgusting person, and this is why we got to start listening behind what a lot of these celebrities say, where it's this tokenism. They'll throw out these buzzwords, and it sounds good on the surface, but you think about she's not for other women. She is solely for Blake Lively. I mean, delusion. Let me rewind that part.
Sometimes that might have felt like a rug pull because you're like,
right.
I wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to feel fulfilled. So I think that for them, sometimes that might have felt like a rug pull because you're like, you're trying to assert yourself into something that we didn't hire you to do. And so it was a really strange position to be in because I felt like I want to just like be an actor. Like I want to have more authorship. So I think that it's about knowing what I want and what I need and representing that from the outset. And if people are into that and want to collaborate with me for all I feel like I need to offer and bring to a job, then those are the people I should collaborate with. And if I see that it's people who are, whether this is in business or acting or whatever it is, where it's people who I can see that feels like that's stepping on their territory, that's not going to ultimately be a fulfilling relationship for either one of us. So I think it's about being upfront about.
Do you hear that? So she's, I mean, this is unreal. She is proving his case that she goes in to take over something, pretending to be an actor, but she really wants to take over the project. She has to have agency over it. That's like a buzzword they like to use. Agency over the whole thing. But then she says it feels like a rug pull. She's a Trojan horse. Where she comes in sweet, and we've seen that from her text messages where she's really sweet, she's really nice, and then all of a sudden, hey, do you mind if I take a stab at the rooftop scene? Do you mind if I try? And that's how she wiggled her way into this project and taking over it. But this is the thing, when she took over the project, it's one thing to be collaborative or want to have input. She wanted to destroy Justin Baldoni in order to take his role. And so what she's saying here is not making any sense. But I want to go back a little bit because there's something that she kind of contradicts herself in this entire thing. Let me see if I can get to that part again.
I would just seem like I'm just there to be the actor, and ready producers or writers who would welcome that and invite that once they saw that I was able to offer that. And sometimes I would have people who really resented that because they were like, we just hired you to be an actor. Yet when I went in the meetings, I would just seem like I'm just there to be the actor and ready to get the gig. I wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to feel fulfilled. So I think that for them, sometimes that might have felt like a rug pull because you're like, you're trying to assert yourself into something that we didn't hire you to do. And so it was a really strange position to be in because I felt like I want to just like be an actor. Like I want to have more authorship. So I think that it's about knowing what I want and what I need and representing that from the outset. And if people are into that and want to collaborate with me for all I feel like I need to offer and bring to a job, then those are the people I should collaborate with. And if I see that it's people who are, whether this is in business or acting or whatever it is, where it's people who I can see that feels like that's stepping on their territory, that's not going to ultimately be a fulfilling relationship for either one of us. So I think.
So she's saying in the past, like, she felt like she had to go in there as a Trojan horse and do the rug pull. Like she had to pretend like she's just there to act, right? And, she didn't like having to do that, even though she would still take over the project and do all of that. She didn't like having to do that. So now in the future, now when she takes roles, she wants to, when she takes the role, she needs to make sure that that person wants to collaborate early on, that they understand what her role would be, that she wants to be a key component of the project, not just acting on it. But that's not what she did with It Ends With Us. She actually did what she says she always does. So there she's just talking out the side of her mouth. She's just talking out of her ass. Because we know for sure Justin Baldoni didn't hire her to do all the stuff that she did, take over this project, rewrite the whole script, direct it, edit it, lock him out of things, keep him away from his own project, turn the cast against him. So she's virtue signaling that, she doesn't want to have to do that anymore. That's just not the right way. So when she makes future collaborations, which she did this interview before, this was 2022. So she did this interview before she went on It Ends With Us, before she was signed on to It Ends With Us. So she actually went ahead and did the very thing, laid out how she's going to do it, even though she says in the future, now I make sure that anyone that I work with, they know that this is what it's going to be. This is how I need to be involved, or it's just not going to be a good relationship. It's not going to turn out good for either one of us. Has this turned out good for Blake Lively? No, because we now can see the lying, scheming, manipulative narcissist that she is. Did it turn out good for Justin Baldoni? No. The man was basically bullied and tortured this entire project and even afterwards. And then just the cherry on top that exploded this whole thing was her trying to Me Too Justin in the end, because she did not get her way. Because actually she got her way, but it just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to take over. It wasn't enough that she destroyed him essentially on the project. She decided, you know what? I'm going to destroy his entire life because it's a way for me to have a stepping stone. And using being a woman, because when you're Me Tooing someone, especially falsely, what is that? A man, you are using being a woman as a way to step over a man. And unfortunately for her, Justin Baldoni happens to be a very good person, a man that women trust, a man that women are, impressed by in terms of how much he does care for women, how much he does care for others, how authentic he is.
It's about being upfront about knowing what you actually need versus just trying to get the job. And then, once you're in it, sort of revealing the scope of your sort of needs to be, fulfilled.
It's like your authentic self, right? And in terms of unapologetically, versus trying to hide it. It is what makes you great and brings out your best work.
But it's hard because you feel so replaceable, people tell you all the time, how replaceable you are. So it's I have to do this thing to get the job. So it's tricky,
Zigzag.
It is. And sometimes you lose the job, but if you did it and you weren't fulfilled anyway, then it wasn't worth it.